We've all heard the stereotype, the age-old narrative that paints men and women with broad, inaccurate strokes when it comes to emotions. These stereotypes are deeply ingrained in our society, influencing how we perceive ourselves and others. They affect our interactions, our expectations, and even our understanding of basic human psychology. Women are too emotional, often labeled as overly sensitive or dramatic, while men are expected to be unfeeling, strong, and stoic, suppressing any display of vulnerability. These labels can be incredibly damaging, limiting individuals and preventing genuine emotional expression. But is that really true? Is it an accurate reflection of our emotional landscape, or are we simply perpetuating harmful myths? It's time to challenge these assumptions and delve deeper into the complexities of human emotion. Media and culture love to paint women as emotional, often portraying them as irrational or hysterical, and men as stoic, the silent heroes who rarely show their feelings. This constant reinforcement shapes our perceptions from a young age, but the reality is far more complex. Human beings are nuanced, and emotions are not confined by gender. We all experience a wide spectrum of feelings, regardless of whether we are male or female. Both men and women experience the full range of emotions. It's part of what makes us human. To deny this is to deny a fundamental aspect of our shared experience: joy, anger, sadness, love. The real difference lies not in the presence or absence of emotions, but in how our brains process and express these feelings. This is where the fascinating world of neuroscience comes into play. It's not about one gender being emotional and the other logical. That's a false dichotomy. It's about different neurological pathways, the intricate networks within our brains that shape our responses to emotional stimuli. Think of it like two computers running different operating systems. They can both perform complex tasks, but they might approach them in different ways, both powerful, just wired differently. These variations in wiring influence how we perceive, interpret, and ultimately express our emotions. Male and female brains both feel deeply, experiencing the same intensity of emotions, but the routes they take can be distinct, leading to different outward expressions and coping mechanisms. Understanding these differences helps us see with greater clarity and empathy why we sometimes misread each other's reactions, leading to misunderstandings and conflict in our relationships. Let's move past the old Venus and Mars cliches, those tired and inaccurate comparisons that have plagued our understanding of relationships for far too long, and explore the real science behind our feelings, delving into the fascinating world of neuroscience and emotional intelligence. By learning how our brains shape emotion and how these processes differ, we can build empathy and stronger connections, fostering deeper understanding and more meaningful relationships with those around us. Ready to dive into the heart of the matter? To unpack the complexities of emotion and challenge the stereotypes that hold us back? Let's start with the brain, the control center of our emotions, and unravel the mysteries of how it shapes our emotional experiences. Nestled deep within the intricate folds of our brains, residing in the temporal lobes, are two small, almond-shaped clusters. These are known as the amygdalae. They're mirror images of each other, one in each hemisphere, working in tandem. These tiny structures are the emotional command centers, the hubs where feelings are processed and given meaning. They are the gatekeepers of our emotional experiences. The amygdala acts as your brain's ever-vigilant alarm system, constantly scanning your environment for potential threats and opportunities. It's always on alert, ready to react. It plays a crucial role in tagging experiences as important, dangerous, or joyful, assigning emotional significance to the events that shape our lives. This tagging process is essential for survival and well-being. When you feel a surge of fear, that sudden jolt of adrenaline, or the exhilarating rush of excitement, the amygdala lights up, becoming a flurry of neural activity. This activation triggers your body's primal fight or flight response, preparing you to either confront the threat or escape to safety. It's an automatic, instinctive reaction, but it's not just about fear and danger. The amygdala's role extends far beyond simple survival instincts. It also processes pleasure, the joy of connection, the warmth of attachment, and plays a vital role in helping form emotional memories, those vivid recollections that shape who we are. The amygdala works closely with the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, cementing emotional moments in your memory, ensuring that significant experiences are not easily forgotten. That's why you remember exactly where you were and how you felt during big life events, those pivotal moments that define your personal history. Without the amygdala, life would feel emotionally flat, a muted landscape devoid of color and intensity. There would be no strong bonds, no deep connections, and no learning from mistakes, as the emotional weight of those errors would be absent. It highlights the moments that matter, the experiences that resonate with us on a profound level, giving our lives depth and meaning, enriching our existence with a tapestry of feelings. Understanding the amygdala is key to unlocking the secrets of human emotion. It's essential to understanding how men and women experience emotions differently, and how these differences shape their interactions with the world. It's the crucial starting point for exploring our unique emotional landscapes, the individual ways in which we perceive and respond to the world around us. Let's delve deeper and see how this plays out specifically in the male and female brain, uncovering the nuances of emotional processing in each. Here's where things get fascinating. We begin to uncover some fundamental differences in how men and women process the world around them. It's not just about societal expectations or learned behaviors. There are actual, tangible variations in the very structure and function of our brains. Men and women both have amygdalae, those almond-shaped powerhouses responsible for processing emotions, especially fear and aggression, but they're wired differently. These subtle yet significant variations in neural pathways can lead to vastly different responses to the same stimuli. The male amygdala is physically larger, a distinction that has implications for how men perceive and react to potential threats or challenges. This difference in size isn't just a matter of scale. It reflects a difference in the intensity and speed of emotional processing and connects more to areas controlling action and sensory input. This means that when a man experiences a strong emotion, that emotion is more likely to trigger a physical response, a need to take action, or a heightened awareness of his surroundings. When triggered, the male brain is primed for a physical response. It's as if the amygdala is directly connected to the muscles, preparing the body for immediate action. This can manifest in a variety of ways, from a surge of adrenaline to a focused determination to solve a problem. Fight, flight, or fix. The impulse is to do something, to exert control over the situation, whether that means confronting a threat, escaping from danger, or tackling a practical problem head-on. The female amygdala connects more to language and emotional regulation centers. This intricate connection allows women to process emotions with a greater emphasis on communication and self-awareness. When activated, the female brain processes feelings internally, often engaging in introspection and self-reflection before taking any external action. This internal processing allows for a more nuanced understanding of the emotional landscape and expresses them verbally. The need to articulate feelings, to share them with others, becomes a primary way of coping with and resolving emotional challenges. Men often want to act. Women often want to talk and reflect. These differences explain why a man might go for a run after stress, seeking physical release and a sense of control, while a woman might want to discuss her feelings, seeking emotional connection and validation through shared experiences. Neither approach is better. They're just different default settings. These are simply the ways our brains are naturally inclined to respond to emotional stimuli. Recognizing this can transform how we relate to each other, fostering empathy and understanding in our interactions. It's not about right or wrong, assigning value judgments to one approach over another, but about understanding our unique wiring and appreciating the diverse ways in which we process and respond to the world. Let's look at how this affects memory and how these fundamental differences in brain structure and function influence the way we encode, store, and retrieve information. Ever notice how women recall every detail of an argument while men remember just the basics? Men's right amygdala focuses on the big picture. What happened, not how it felt. Women's left amygdala encodes details, words, tone, facial expressions, and emotions. This creates vivid, detailed memories for women and summary-like memories for men. It's not about better or worse memory, but about what each brain prioritizes. Understanding this can help couples bridge memory gaps and resolve conflicts with more patience. These brain differences shape how we deal with emotions every day. Women often process feelings by talking. Co-rumination with friends helps them label and understand emotions. For many women, talking is part of the solution. Men tend to process emotions through action, working out, fixing things, or playing games. Physical activity helps men release tension and regain control. After a tough day, a woman might need to vent, while a man might prefer distraction or a task. These are general patterns, not rules. Everyone is unique. The key is to respect each other's coping styles. Both talking and action are valid ways to process emotion. Appreciating these differences prevents misunderstandings. Support each other in the ways that work best for you both. When it comes to seeking help, women are far more likely to go to therapy than men. This isn't because women have more emotional problems. It's about how we're socialized and how therapy works. Talk therapy aligns with the female brain's style. Verbalizing, exploring, connecting. For women, therapy feels like a natural extension of how they process emotions. Men, raised to be strong and solve problems alone, may see therapy as counterintuitive. The male brain's action-oriented style can make talk therapy seem passive, but attitudes are changing. More men are seeing therapy as a proactive step. Therapies that focus on action and problem-solving, like CBT, appeal to men's strengths. The goal: make mental health care accessible and effective for everyone. Emotional support should fit your style, not your gender. When stress hits, we all reach for our emotional toolkits. Men and women just pack them differently. Women's coping often centers on social connections, seeking support, talking, or journaling. The tend and befriend response, driven by oxytocin, helps women bond and reduce anxiety. Sharing worries with friends or writing about feelings are powerful tools for women. Men's coping is often solitary and action-based problem-solving, distraction, or physical activity. Faced with stress, a man might make a plan, fix something, or dive into a hobby. Distraction isn't avoidance, it's a way to reset before tackling the problem. Both toolkits are effective, they just use different instruments. The key is knowing what works for you and respecting others' methods. Emotional repair comes in many forms. There's no single right way to cope. Embrace the diversity in how we handle life's curveballs. What do the experts say about all this? Neuroscientists like Dr. Larry Cahill have shown that men and women's brains process emotion and memory differently. Left versus right amygdala activation. These differences aren't about superiority, but specialization. Women remember emotional details, men remember the gist. Dr. Simon Baron-Cohen's research suggests the female brain is wired for empathy, the male brain for systemizing. These are general tendencies, not absolutes. Everyone has both skills. Biology shapes our emotional style, but society influences how we express it. Understanding the science helps us move past judgment and frustration. Instead of asking, "Why can't you be more like me?" we can appreciate our differences. Science gives us a new language for talking about emotion. It's about curiosity, not criticism. Let's use this knowledge to build better relationships. We've busted the myth that women are too emotional and men are unfeeling. The truth? Both genders feel deeply, they just process and express emotions differently. The female brain excels at verbal processing and remembering emotional detail. The male brain is built for action and big-picture thinking. Neither style is better, both are essential. Understanding these differences replaces judgment with empathy. Our emotional diversity is a strength, not a weakness. The world needs both connection and action, empathy and problem-solving. By embracing the science, we can communicate better and support each other. Our emotional lives are a vibrant garden. Let's celebrate every way we bloom. It would be awesome if you could like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't hesitate to leave video topic suggestions in the comment section below. Be well, mind, body, and society.